Any other information we would like to learn or we would like to know about an octopus? Amaya.
Does an octopus have babies?
Well, yes. That's how they survive. I mean, but that's a good question. But you could kind of think about how other animals have babies to survive. So.
No, do they come in eggs?
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, so do they have live young or do they have eggs? Okay, so the octopuses have live young or eggs. All right, so hands down, please. We want to know a lot of information about an octopus. We want to know how it camouflages. We want to know who it's related to. We want to know a lot of different things. So I do want to show you guys a video. If everybody could just turn to the front board, please. We're going to look at a video about an octopus. This is an interesting video that will give you some information, not all, but some information about octopuses. Okay? Can everybody see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Excuse me, Lila, why are you talking? I'm sorry.
How do they digest their food?
Good question. I will write that on the board while we watch the video, okay? Watch closely. This is very interesting.
What makes a marine life
That's an octopus.
Undersea captured this about 10 years ago. He was doing a study in the Caribbean and we've been following
All right, I'll turn it up.
about it.
I just had to write down Caleb's question because it was very interesting.
In its face, so to speak.
Prompting it to go from camouflage to a startle defense.
Blanching white very quickly.
And then inking him.
But I followed the animal and finished the dive, and I popped to the surface. It was only about 5 feet deep, and I screamed bloody murder, and they thought I was having a dive accident.
When actually he was having...
It was a eureka moment, there's no doubt about it.
And that's because Hanlon is trying to understand just how camouflage works in cephalopods.
Yes, cephalopods, squid, octopus, and cuttlefish.
They are masters of optical illusion.
They are the animals best known to go anywhere in camouflage. No animal comes even close to the speed, diversity, and appearances of this animal.
And they have a few tricks at their disposal. Octopus and cuttlefish can change their skin texture.
This is the only animal group we know of that has fine control of its skin to create the bumpiness.
And they match their skin dimensionality by sight, not by touch, which is a...
Vexing
They're like a frog.
visual perception.
And of course they change color. So here's an octopus.
The moving rock trick.
I'm a rock, I'm a rock. Now watch this.
So the amazing thing is that these animals are colorblind, yet they're capable of creating color match patterns. But we don't know how.
But of course Hanlon would like to. And one way he's studying this is by looking closely at squid skin. That's what you're seeing here.
It's a skin.
These are super close-up images of live unanesthetized squid.
And those dots of pigment are called chromatophores. They come in 3 colors.
Yellow, red, and brown. But there are reflectors under the pigments, and the reflectors produce the short wavelengths, the blues and the greens.
And as you can see, the chromatophores can change shape to change the predominant skin color.
Each one of those little spots on there can expand up to 15 times its diameter.
And these chromatophores seem to be twitching all the time.
They camouflage all night long. They don't sleep as far as we know.
That's because cephalopods, with their squishy bodies, rely on camouflage as their main protection from predators. But of course, camouflage is not just color, it's also pattern. This is one of Hanlon's major hypotheses.
We found only 3 to 4 basic pattern templates that they use to achieve all this camouflage.
So there's uniform.
By uniform, we mean that there's little or no contrast in the pattern.
There's model.
Mottle is small-scale light and dark splotches.
And disruptive, and the idea there is
to interfere with the recognition of what the animal is.
Based on lab studies, Hanlon says that the animals flash particular patterns based on a few visual cues they encounter in the environment. Hanlon wouldn't call it a reflex because so much visual analysis is involved.
But it is very fast.
Palette and pattern changing in less than a second. But just why these patterns work is still kind of a mystery. Let's take the octopus video again. Hanlon analyzed this video frame by frame, but he can't tell you why you don't see the animal.
We can't find any true statistical matches, whether it's brightness, color, between the animal and the background. So camouflage is not looking exactly like the background.
Camouflage just means fooling whatever's looking at you, which suggests
we're behind the 8 ball, as it were, if we think the world looks like how we see it. There's much more information there, and other animals see it very differently.
For Science Friday, I'm Flora Lutton.
I don't get it. Most of the stuff that they said.
Okay, can I have everybody back to their seats, please? Quietly. Really?
Jergens brings you BB Body. Perfect.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about the video that we just watched? About the video in specific? Kayla?
One thing that I want to ask is, I'm really impressed of the opportunity. Everybody could even really see it's camouflage like that.
So you want to make a statement? That's more of a statement than a question, correct?
I just want to know how does the little spot in their own body change color?
That's actually a really good question. I'm not really sure. As you've seen on the video, the scientist and the lady that was speaking, they said they're still not sure how it works. But you've seen the little pores on his skin or whatever it was just constantly moving, constantly changing colors. So it went from like pink to blue, just to different colors because he's constantly changing his pattern and his color and his shape. Yes?
I want to know, does an octopus have one eye?
They have 2 eyes. It's like a one on each side. It's just when we're always seeing octopus, it's usually from the side, which is actually a good question. Sean?
How do they stick on it? Do they use the circles to stick on it?
Right, because it's different textures that they have in their on their tentacles, so they can use like either the suction cups or they can use the spikes to like grab one. They can use their tentacles to like hook onto whatever it is. As you can see, like it was like an underwater sea plant or something like that, and he was like hanging on to it. And he had changed the color, so he can use his tentacles to hold on to different things. One last question, please.
Does the octopus really change color, or is it how does it like the texture and it looks like the color, but it looks like the texture that the octopus is doing?
That's basically what they were trying to explain to us in the movie. Camouflage could be just the animal fooling us, making us think that it's not there, or it could actually mean its color is changing. So we are going to learn a little bit more. Imani, you have a question? Yes?
What kind of big animals eat octopus?
Okay, that was a question that you wanted to learn. All right, well, this is the last question. We are actually going to read about octopus and other sea creatures. So what was your question one more time?
What kind of animals eat octopus?
Alright. Hands down, please. So, in your books, I need you guys to turn to page 81. And the title of this story is called How to Hide an Octopus and Other Sea Creatures. So we're not just going to learn about an octopus. We are going to learn about other sea creatures that use camouflage to hide themselves as well. Yes, that page. 81, please. I'm not waiting. So in this story, we are going to model and prompt the use of the following comprehensive strategies during the first reading, which is going to be this first time through that we're reading this story, of how to hide an octopus and other sea creatures. We are going to ask questions. We're going to find the answer to those questions. We are going to clarify, so if there are misunderstandings or something that people are confused about, we are going to clarify and answer those questions as well. We're going to make connections because you guys have learned about other animals that camouflage, and we're going to make connections to some of these animals in this story. And then we're going to summarize what we read to make sure that we understood everything that we just read in the story, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, are land animals the only animals that use camouflage?
No.
Somebody raise their hand and tell me. Talise?
No, because most creatures in like on the this morning.
Are we paying attention
On
to
this
Talise?
morning, the morning news that many sea creatures use camouflage.
Very good. So she just made a connection. She used the morning bell work to answer this question. Can somebody else tell me why land animals are not the only animals that use camouflage? Can they use a connection or something that they learned before? Cameron. Because you weren't even paying attention. So go ahead, answer the question. Why are land animals not the only animals to be able to use camouflage? Hands down, we're giving Cameron a chance. See, you need to pay attention. Can anybody else answer why or make a connection as to why land animals are not the only animals that use camouflage? Lida?
Because we just finished watching a
Thank
video
you.
of an octopus using camouflage.
Very good. We just watched a video of an octopus changing his shape and using camouflage so that he can hide from predators. Anybody else have an answer to that question as well? Amaya?
That was the question. What's the question again? How
Really? Really?
how is they not the only one, because an aqua, like what Talise said, it can change any color to what it grabs on, like on the video.
Very good. So, if you were a sea creature, and of course we know that all animals have either their predator or their prey, so all animals have enemies in some way. If you were an animal under the sea, how would you hide from your enemies? Carrie?
If I was an animal under the sea, how I would hide is I would dig a big hole under the ground, get one of my whoever made me live, and then I would hide under the dirt and make a tiny hole for air.
Okay, so Carrie would make a hole under the sea. Kiara, how would you hide if you were trying to get away from enemies and you were underwater?
I would just dig me a big old hole.
Didn't he say he would dig a big hole? What if he stole the only hole that was there and you didn't have your little tentacle was broke and you needed to do something else? What would you do? You couldn't make a hole. What would you do?
Squirt out that purple stuff.
Okay, so you would use something to maybe blind your enemies. You would squirt out the ink so that you could get away. All right, Imani, how would you hide? How would you hide if you were under the water?
I will use my ink and I will find
Okay, so we're all out of ink. We don't have ink. We can't dig holes.
Then I will camouflage.
Bingo. How would you camouflage? What colors would you